What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic weekend. We're here. It is Saturday, but the game status report comes out today due to the game being on Monday. So everything has been pushed back. Hopefully you were able to check out behind enemy lines, the top matchups, keep up with all of these injuries. But in case you haven't with the injuries, we're here for the game status report, see who is out, who is questionable for both the Eagles and their Week 10 opponent, the Green Bay Packers. So I appreciate you all taking the time, hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, becoming members, all those things that support the channel. Cannot thank you enough for that. Hope you're excited. Feels like thousands of years since the last game, but I'm ready to see this team go on that run we talked about for the second half of the season. Let's get things right, go whoop some ass, get healthy at the right time, but we still do have some injuries. So let's jump right into it and talk about that. You have any thoughts, any comments, anything you want to add, any questions, leave them down below. But let's start it off with the Eagles here. And, well, one piece of news is not surprising. Cam Jurgens will be out for this game. So we know he did not practice at all. And, again, today did not practice, so he's out. Adoree Jackson was back in practice. He's a full participant. Oh, Lord. So going to make this cornerback carousal very interesting. Then you see the guys that are all still on IR are questionable for this game. So Bennett, Lampkin, and Smith, all questionable. So they could come off. We'll see if the Eagles activate them and decide to take anybody else off. We'll see by tomorrow if they do that. But, the game on Monday, we'll see if they do it then, and we'll see what players obviously added to this depth chart once they come off. So here you see the three guys that are questionable for this game. They will not be on the depth chart yet because, well, they're not officially back. Now, Nolan Smith said he is playing in this one, so I'll be ecstatic if so. But Bennett, I would like another piece added to this cornerback mix. And Lampkin, with Jurgens out, maybe, let's try to get him up to speed as quick as we can. He's been learning the playbook, but let's get him on the field, see what we can do. Because this offense, again, Cam Jurgens is out. And I thought, actually, Brett Toth did pretty well. So I know a lot of people are calling for Lampkin to just start right away, but not sure that's how it goes down. I think that Toth will get another start here on Monday, and we'll see how that works. But everybody else is healthy, and, clearly we want Jurgens to be good for the rest of the season. Didn't put him on IR, so I would suspect he'd be back next week. We'll find out. Best of wishes to him. On the defensive side of the ball, again, Nolan Smith being with Jalen Phillips and Hunt and Uche and Graham, that will be awesome. So he says he's coming off. We'll find out if he does. And then you could see at the cornerback position, adding Jacorian and Bennett would be another name, man, with Adoree Jackson here, Jair Alexander, Michael Carter II. I have Ringo because that's the last guy who started. That's where I have him. I have no idea. I would love to see Alexander get back to form, his all-pro form, and maybe he can in this defense. But we'll find out how quickly he can learn the Fangio system and what he can do. He learned under Barry a little bit there, kind of similar. So I don't think it's going to be too hard for him, but a very intricate defense. I think Michael Carter II, his versatility, ability to help at safety, nickel corner, I think could really, shine in this Vic Fangio defense. So we'll see what these new pieces can do. If the injured pieces like Jacorian and Bennett can get on the field, we'll find out. And then in the special teams department, everybody good to go. We'll see if our one new piece, Xavier Gibson, can get things going. He got a chance last week. Be exciting to have someone with his return ability be able to do some things. Or if he gets let go with some of those other players being brought in, we'll see if he can add something to the offense, special teams. We'll find out. But we got plenty of guys there. And then the practice squad, we just made a signing before I made this video. Taquan Graham, interior defensive lineman. And we released Antoine Powell-Ryland. So I will have a video on Taquan Graham, the new addition, the veteran there from the Falcons. We'll talk about him. But, there's the practice squad. If the Eagles want to elevate anyone, I will let you know Monday, 4 o'clock. They'll make that decision before the game. I'll let you know. But let's get into the Packers now and what they've got going on. And they've got themselves quite an injury list here. And I made two pages here talking throughout the week. So we'll start it off with the guys that were at practice, the limited and full guys to start the week. So you see all the changes for Saturday here. You got Banks and Cooper were full. Jacobs and Walker and Wooden were all full participants. So that's great news for them. Golden did not practice again. he is questionable for this game. Their right tackle, limited again today, questionable for this game. Then you have Dontavian Wicks, also questionable for this game. Kicker and everyone else, good to go there. And then in this next list, this is the guys that started the week off not practicing, and then a few guys that were added throughout the week. Today, Kamal Haddon was added, limited with a hamstring, but he'll be good to go for the game. Questionable is Savion Williams. So got a few wide receivers banged up here, and then Van Ness and Hobbs will be out for this game as expected. So let's take a look, and we'll look at their injury list here, IR and PUP list. Again, Tucker Kraft, we talked about throughout the week, a huge blow for them. So you won't see these guys on these depth charts, but here they are on the IR and PUP list. Now with the offense, oh my, you've got 3 wide receivers that are questionable for this game. So that leaves you with 3 healthy ones, Watson, Dobbs, and Heath. Now, Williams, Golden, and Wicks, that would be a big blow. So we'll find out if they make this game, but they do have a few rookies and just signed a veteran wide receiver on their practice squad. We'll see what they decide to do there. But Zach Tom, their right tackle, one of the better tackles in the game, that would be a massive blow if he are unable to go for this game. Got Darian Kennard from us, so maybe he gets a start. Sean Ryan and Anthony Belton and all kinds of players there. We'll see what they decide to do. But looking at the defense, Van Ness and Hobbs are 2 depth pieces, so not really, too big of a blow. Maybe help on special teams there. But, yeah, so those are the guys that will be out for the game. Nobody else banged up here. But in the special teams department, we talked about that this week. With Golden and Savion Williams, those are the return guys. So will you be using, your starting corner? I know he's an all-pro returner, Keyshawn Nixon, but he's got his hands full with, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So we'll see if they decide to do that. Maybe some Emmanuel Wilson. Will be intriguing to see if these guys can make this game. And then the practice squad, I mentioned, a few wide receivers there. And then they've got some other options, tight ends that they, obviously lost Kraft. So made some moves throughout the week. Hopefully you've been able to check out the shows. I've kept you up to date with all of the Eagles and Packers roster moves, practice squad moves, injury moves, whatever the hell it could be. Trying to do my best to keep you up to date with all of it. But all I've got for you here tonight, I'll be back again later. I will be putting out a show on the newest Eagles signing, Jaquan Graham. Anytime there is a signing that has not been on the team before, we don't know him. Well, we get to know him. So I'll be putting that out. We'll take a look at the updated team and what he brings to the table, all that great stuff, get to know him. But if you have any questions on this injury report, anything you want to add, love to hear from you. Hope you guys are all having a great weekend. Hope you're ready for this game on Monday. But, yeah, thanks for hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, becoming members, hyping these videos up. All that stuff really helps, and can't thank you enough for that. If you need anything, you're going through anything, you need just a friend, whatever it is, please feel free to reach out. Always here for you guys as you are for me. Have yourselves a great rest of your Saturday, and until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!